So I'm so excited for this training today because we as entrepreneurs have so many big goals, so many big desires, and we think we have a plan for everything. And then we create the plan and we create the plan and we get coached and everything. And then from a whole other random corner of life, something comes and then it kind of just shit hits the fan in our personal life. We have things unexpectedly show up, happen totally unexpected, that we have things that are totally unexpected that happen that take us off our track. We feel like, oh, because this is happening, I can't create my goal or I can't create big things. And so what I'm going to talk about today is really going to help you if you ever go through anything difficult, if you're going through anything difficult in your personal life or even in your business. Is really going to help you move through those emotions and have the ability to still create the impossible, create the things that you don't think that you're able to create. And I'm telling you this because over the last 2 weeks, this has showed up in my business, in my life, in my personal life. There was something that happened that just totally took me by surprise. And because I have practiced, what I'm going to teach you is 6 steps. I'm all about steps. I created 6 steps that I go through and things that I remember, 6 things that I remember that I'm going to teach you today to really help me move through that. And today I can tell you that I feel on the other side. So I thought I was ready for this to be grief for months, because normally it takes me months to get through it. And while grief and sadness is something that comes and goes in waves, I really feel so deeply energized and connected. And the results that I have been able to create are exactly what I wanted in my business. So the thing that happened didn't affect my business. And so the first thing that I want to start by saying, the first step that I want you to remember, let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. Ruth says, the bigger the money goals, the bigger our fears come up, a bigger layer of self-development. So how to continue to move forward in the storm and not have to stop me. Okay, so that's what we're gonna talk about that. So here's the thing. The first thing that I want you to know is that you can feel negative emotion and still make a lot of fucking money and still create your desires. And I really want you to write that down, remember it, embed it in your mind or in your heart, in your body, because the personal development world has kind of shared a message, or we have adopted a message that we have to feel good in order to create good things, right? Like we have to be in a good energetic state, that we have to be in high frequency and vibration in order to attract good things. And over again, I have proven this wrong. Like I feel like shit a lot of the time and create miracles. Like I literally do. First time I remember back in 2018, I was going through an immigration case for my citizenship. And you guys, it was the hardest thing ever, because I felt in so much survival, in so much scarcity, because something that was out of my control happened, which is Trump got elected. And all of a sudden my freaking immigration case was completely on hold, complicated. I was a Latina. Back then, Latino people weren't very popular in the government. They were not treating me very well like a human. It was just, they were making it so hard for me. So it was something that felt so out of my control. That month, it was April 2018. I remember I worked for 15 days so hard on this case that I totally felt like I neglected my business. But in the 15 days that I did work, I showed up. In that month, I had a $40,000 a month, which was my first ever $40,000 month. And I was like, how is it possible that I felt like shit the whole time, but I was able to create these results? And so the first thing that I learned is thing number 1 that I want you to take away from this training is you can feel a lot of negative emotion. You can be in turmoily circumstances and still be able to create amazing things. One doesn't exclude the other. You don't have to feel perfect emotions to create great results. You can feel lots of great emotions, but you can still not create results. And so I want you to first get the awareness that just because you feel Negative emotion doesn't mean anything about the possibility of what can happen that month, that year, or that season of your life. Now, thing number 2 to remember, this is thing number 2 that leads from thing number 1, is that it means whatever you're going through, maybe somebody died, maybe you're going through a breakup, maybe you got some unexpected thing that's really throwing you off, maybe it's a health thing, maybe it's whatever thing. It doesn't mean anything about the future. We have to stop catastrophizing. Is that a word? Catastrophizing? You know the word I'm talking about. Catastrophizing. I think that's the word. What happens? Because that's when we take ourselves in the loop of things not working out. Whatever happens today, the guy breaking up with you, your husband asking for divorce, or you asking for divorce, or whatever the things, the health thing, the family thing, the other personal thing, the client saying no, whatever, the first thing to remember, other than I can feel negative emotion and still create amazing things, is this means nothing about my future. This means nothing about what's possible in the next minute, in the next second, tomorrow, next month. This means nothing about the future. And how do I remember that? This is something that I literally practice right now, having a multi-million-dollar business, you guys. The most important thing that I teach my clients, one of the most important things that I teach my clients, but that I practice so much, is zooming out. So how do we know that this means nothing about the future? You have to start seeing your life as not today, not just the moment. I know that it's important to be present in the moment, and that's it's the dichotomy of life, right? It's like we get to be present in the moment, and we also get to zoom out and look at, wait, there's a trend here in my life. The trend is, if I look at the last 10 years of my life, and I want all of you to look at the last 10 years of your life, can you see that no matter all the ups and downs, your life was going up? The trend was going up. Can you see how, if you look back at your last 10 years, you have gone kind of like the stock market. The stock market goes up and then goes down and then goes up and then goes down. But if you know, it keeps going up as a whole. Now, if you zoom into one day of what's happening in the stock market, and if you zoom into one day, you might be like, oh my God, this is terrifying. We're losing all of our money. We need to pull out all of our money. But that's exactly why we don't make emotional decisions when we invest. And I'm talking about, this is in my awareness because I'm like really into the investments now. We can't make decisions about our future based on one day, based on one moment, based on one circumstance, based on one situation. You can decide that because this happened today, it means that now you can have a great month or a great year or a great 10 years or a great 5 years, right? We have to zoom out and look at the big picture. Wait, I've had moments like this before when I thought the world was crumbling, and look at where I am today. Things were always going up. Things are always going up. They're going up in the long term. So you have to zoom out and see yourself, think in the long term versus the immediate term. This is how you get also really resilient and good at sales and marketing and business and being an entrepreneur. This is what will keep you in the game, learning how to see the dips, learning how to fail, learning how to see the seemingly horrible things as, oh, this means nothing about my future because I know that I'm always trending up, and really letting that sink into just the reality that you get to live in, because your brain is going to want to say, oh, the shoe's about to drop. Oh, see, you had it good, but now it's time to go downhill. And this is where you get to decide, no, actually, I've always been trending up. Let me look at the facts. Are you guys feeling this? So important to remember that and to actually look at what's true and what's the truth that you want to remember. Okay. So point number 2 was, this means nothing about your future. Zoom out and remember what is the truth, that you're always trending up, and that this is all part of the plan. This is how we got to where we want to be. this heartbreak, this divorce, this health situation, this death, this whatever the thing is, this is part of the plan. This is how I got rich. This is how I got to my success. This is how I signed the clients. This is how I sold out my launch. This is how I wrote the curriculum for my clients to learn, because these lessons that I'm learning are for my clients, because I know that they're going to come to me and they're going to have this problem that I currently have. And so I go first. I go first. I am trailblazing it for them. Do you guys see that the perspective shift lands in your bones differently, and you start to see the shit that hit the fan be, thank God, because now I'm getting better at being a human and I'm getting better at even being a coach. And this is what my clients are going to come to me for. So what are the lessons that I'm learning? Documented, write it down. This is why self-coaching is so important. I teach my clients how to self-coach, to source the lessons and literally be ready, because guaranteed you will have a client the next day sign up, or the next month, or the next year sign up, and they'll be like, I'm going through X. And you're like, funny you say that. Me too. I went through that and I know exactly how to help you. You guys get that? Give me a yes in the comments if this is resonating. Okay. Absolutely resonating. Fuck yes. Yes, 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 yes. So good. Listen, if you take what I'm telling you, what I'm teaching you in this live stream, come back to this live stream over and over again, as many times as you need. If you do this, your life will exponentially get so much juicier, and you will hit so many, like, you create miracles, because you're tapped into right now miracle consciousness. This is how we create the impossible, by thinking in ways that the brain doesn't think that is possible. So this is not just like little funny, like not funny, but like nice little tips. This is the way I create fucking crazy, amazing things. This is how I was able to create a $2.5 million business in 3 years when I had no list, no evidence that it could happen, because I was tapped into, great, this means nothing about my results. I can have 2,000 people in my list and I can still make $2 million. Why the fuck not? Let's fucking go. This is the energy that I want you to be tapped into. Okay. Thing number 3, this is where it gets interesting, okay? So once you get this baseline of, okay, this means nothing about my future, let's stay more neutral about this and actually be in the surplus of what's possible. This is where the conversation gets really interesting. And this is a conversation that I have with myself. And this might not be delicious for you to hear, okay? But be ready, because it will change your life. Ask yourself, how did I actually, or what part of me wanted this to happen? What part of me wanted this to happen? It's not going to be good. It's not going to feel good sometimes for you. You'll be like, wait, what, Juliana? What part of me wanted this divorce? What part of me wanted this breakup? What part of me wanted this client to say no? What part of me wanted to not hit my goal? What part of me wanted, what? It makes no sense. Listen, you don't understand how powerful you are. You don't understand that you're so powerful, that there was a desire that you had, an unconscious desire that you have, because you might still have it, that created this result in your life. This is not a problem. This is not a problem. Don't make yourself wrong. This is just an awakening to your power. There was an unconscious thought, an unconscious desire, an unconscious thing. And let me give you an example. So I was dating this guy, okay? Really in love with him, thought we were going back lifetimes and that this was the one. And I felt this like really strong pull for this person. I'm like, this is the one, okay? Broke up, like we had a breakup, okay? Sudden, nothing was wrong. Guy was great. Nothing was wrong. Here's what I realized when I asked myself, what part of me wanted this? You know, the part of me that wanted this breakup, the part of me that over the last however many months I was with him, felt like she wanted to connect with him so deeply. And where he was in his life was in the struggle bus in his company. And so the way that I felt like I could cocoon and we could find comfort and we could find connection was in the struggle. You guys get that? this is really that we're going deep here. This is not obvious A, B, C, D, E. This is not your thought careers, your feeling. Like this is deeper than that. This is really looking at what unconscious parts of you, it's not the conscious part of you, but what unconscious parts of you created this result, created this scenario. Maybe you got sick. What part of you wanted to get sick? Oh, the part of you that wanted a break. The part of you that was complaining about the client, the part of you that whatever. Kira says the part who wants more coaching so she can be even more evolved person. Yes, an even more evolved person. This is so freaking good. You're doing amazing. Like really taking this on. I want to be a full-time coach so I can invest in a higher level of coaching to go with me. There you go. So we choose, we unconsciously create scenarios that give us what we want. And we're like, no, but I didn't want this. No, you did want it. What part of you wanted it, even if it hurt, even if it didn't feel good? What part of me desired this break that I got sick? What part of me desired to insert blank thing? And this is very confronting. This is why I said, you're not going to like this. This can be very confronting. And I want you to know that it's a beautiful awakening to your power, because just the way that you created that, you can also decide, okay, let me clean that up and decide intentionally what I really actually want. How do I want my breaks to come? By me deciding, no, I might be getting sick, right? How do I want love to come? By me being uplifted in love and celebrated for winning, not to be like I need to connect with somebody because they're in the struggle bus. I want connection to be elevating, not shrinking me. I want comfort to come, not because I have to suffer and I have to find somebody to comfort me, right? We get to redecide, realign, and get really specific about, oh, this is what I actually really want. Oh my word, sowing tears, so much breakthrough. Yes, I'm so glad that this is landing. Yes, so important. This question is so deep and so powerful. Like we could end the live stream here and you would have enough. So the question is, how did you actually want this? Now, if you can't get there, just ask yourself, ask as guidance, as God, angels, guys, whatever you believe in, a higher power, because sometimes our human can get really locked into things. Help me see things differently. I want to see things differently. Help me illuminate what is actually here, and let yourself receive guidance. God, angels, guides, help me see things differently. Help me see these differently. How can I see what's here for me? How can I see what's here for me? Because I know and I trust that it's all happening in my favor, and that this is part of the plan, and that this means nothing about my future. So if that was true, then how can I see this differently? Right? This is when you don't become a victim of the circumstances, but you say, hey, this is part of the plan. I'm willing to see it differently. It feels really hard for me to see it differently right now, but I'm willing. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm willing. I'm willing. I'm willing. Then you open yourself up to actually receive versus being in the victim state. Okay. Give me a yes if this is resonating. We have 10 minutes before my client call. We have 3 more things to go through. It's going to be amazing. Yes, 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 absolutely. Awesome. Love it, Angie. Love it, Brenda. So good. So good. Okay. Thing number 4 is loving the current situation. By the way, you can do these things in any order. It's like whatever you want. I just randomly came up with it. It's all the things that I did, but you can organize it however you want. I'm just giving you the things that have helped me, because this is what helps me get connected to bigger goals. So let's say that I have a goal to make a certain number of money this year or this month or whatever it is that you want, right? The most important place to create from, which people don't talk about this, and I'm creating a money course that teaches this. Most money courses, or most people that talk about manifestation or creating money and attracting money, whatever, they start by asking the question, what do you want? That's a great question to ask. But by asking, what do we want? We are coming from a place of, I don't have. So here's what I want. And this is not the place to create from and to call in from and to manifest from or to create miracles from. The place to create from is, I'm enough. I got what I need. AKA appreciation. Appreciation is the energy that creates what you desire. And so notice that when things go wrong, what we do is we complain and then we see the gap of where we are not. Oh, I'm not there yet. Oh, look at this happening. Oh, like, so we're focused on the gap. So thing number 4 is loving your current situation, appreciating your current situation, like falling in love with it. Falling in love with the current situation. How am I amazing? How am I lovable? The person break up with you because you're not their type or whatever. How am I amazing? Like, I get to love them in their story, and I get to love me in this. I get to love this as is. I get to love that I have an immigration case, and I get to love that I have a business, and I get to love the tension of all of it because I sign up for a big life, and because I sign up for growth, and growth is one of my greatest values. And I get to love my life as it is. And I get to show up for it too. Nothing has gone wrong here. I love my current situation. I appreciate the number of clients that I have. I have 1 client. I wanted 10. I love my client. Why is it the best client that I have? How is this the best thing that could have happened to me? I love my person and I want more of this. You get into this vibe of loving your current situation instead of focusing, because you guys remember step number 3 was you're so powerful. You were able to create anything you want. This was actually something you desired. You just didn't notice it. So if that is true, then we get to appreciate what you have so that you focus on what you desire, what you actually want, instead of focusing on the gap, on the lack. And this is how you get to focus on step number 5 is focus on what you desire. But the way to get there, so that you get the thing is by step number 4, falling in love with your current situation and being in full appreciation of what you do have, of your current circumstances, of the money that you're making, the money that's in your account, the debt that's in your account. Love all of it. So grateful that I get to have lines of credit. Oh my God, it's America. People in Europe don't have lines of credit. I'm so grateful that I get to borrow from the bank and have this. This is amazing. So appreciative. I'm so appreciative that I made that investment, that I made that decision. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. Find the appreciation. The vibration of appreciation is your bridge, right? Sometimes it's too hard to get to, like, you know, when we think about what do I want, people are like, oh, act from your future, like you having it as if you already had it, or act from your future self. Sometimes that's just too much of a gap for us when we are in grief and suffering and pain. And so where we get to bridge is in appreciation. Appreciation. Okay. Number 5 is focus on what you actually desire, right? So the man broke up with you, the health thing is happening, the fucking whatever thing, the client, whatever. You have 1 client, you wanted 10. Okay, what do you actually want? I want more clients like this 1 client. You guys, this was my manifestation for the longest time in 2018 when I was like going through the whole immigration thing. I was like, God, universe, angels, whatever you believe in, right? I want 1 more like this one. Just 1 more like this one at 10K. Just 1 more every month. Just 1 more like this one, this one client that I have and appreciated, loved them. Every session that I was with them, I was like, oh, this is so delicious. I would just what's the word? Like, I would just relish in all of our coaching sessions. I would talk about it. I would post about it. I would teach about it. I would just feel so connected with the 1 client I had. And I was not focusing on like, I don't have enough. That's when I made the real shifts. And that's when, like, I had like this 1 client, 3 months of no clients. And then the following month, 4 clients paying full. How did you guys see? Like, I made the 3 months of no clients mean nothing about my future. And this kept going with my launches. If there was a launch, like my first ever launch of Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, I didn't make it mean that I created 7 clients instead of 10. I was like, fuck yes, 7 clients. Yes. And I love them, adore them. And with that energy, I went into the next launch. So focus on what you desire versus what you don't want. And then the last thing, which is really important, is your ability to feel it in your body. We live so much in our heads and we're like, okay, desire list. And maybe you write it down and you're like, Juliana, I wrote it. It's not coming true. You're not feeling it. This is not about doing some self-coaching, thing. You have to be in the feeling of, oh my God, I appreciate it. This is what I want. 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 And this is what I get to have. This is how good it's going to feel to have. And I get to really be in the vibration and in the energy of it's mine and it's here. I'm not attached to it. I'm willing for it to come whenever it's meant to come. And I'm available to receive. I'm here. And you really get into the vibration of that happening. This is how I live when I'm brushing my teeth, when I'm walking down the stairs, when I'm like, whatever, I'm like, ooh, all these clients during Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. Ooh, that's how I am in my launches, and I still feel the shit when shit hits the fan and Facebook wants to ban me from live streaming. I'm like, I don't make it mean anything about the future. And I still focus on what I desire, which is the feeling of receiving all of the amazing people. And this is how I receive the amazing people. Because I stay in the vision, in the vibration, in the feeling of having it and being like, I got this. This is mine. It's not like this is done. So I have 2 minutes before my client call starts. And so here's what I want to share. Was this delicious? Angie says, my body is covered in goosebumps. These are powerful money questions. As a financial coach, you have enlightened me on why my questions are not as effective as they could be. So good. This is just a little taste of the quality of conversations we have inside Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. Really. Look at Erica. She's like nodding. She's in it and she's like, yes. And so for all of you who want to not just attract premium clients, but you also want to live and get coached by somebody who knows what it's like to not just live a perfect life with perfect emotions, but be a human and still create miracles, still create amazing results. I really want to invite you to apply to join because the early bird price, it's happening right now where you get $1,000 off. And in 3 months, we help you clarify your message, clarify your offer, attract premium clients, and just be in the state where you know how to guide people through their sales process, their objections, all these questions and these fears that people have. I'm going to show you how to hold space for them so that they feel like a yes at the end of a call. There's so much that I've talked about Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. So I'm going to drop the link in. I'm going to let you go ahead and apply. And I know that if for you've been watching for a while, you guys, why are you doubting yourselves? You crack me up. If you're still thinking, oh no, this is not the right time, this is the best time because you will have more time to sit with the content and you will have more time to just let the whole thing sink into your bones. So I really want to invite you to apply. If you don't just want to attract premium clients, but you really want to elevate your entire wealth consciousness. These are the types of conversations that we have every week. This is the coaching that I give you so that you shift your perspective and you stop working so hard in your business, in the things that don't actually create results, and instead really do the simple things that are going to make the biggest difference, like clarifying your message, really honing in on your offer, writing content that really converts, that's potent, that's powerful, like the content that I create, doing live streams like this that blow people's minds. This is a thing. This is not just like me just flowing. I actually have a very clear process inside of the program that I teach you on how to do this. And so these are all the practical things that I teach you. And also I teach you all of the mindset. We coach really deeply so that you literally come out of this entire program fully transformed and like a whole other person. You will not recognize yourself. Every person that comes through comes on the other side fully transformed. So I want to invite you to apply. You get $1,000 off when you join before the launch begins. And that's what I have for you today. I have a client who's waiting for me. So I love you all so much. Come back to this live stream if you ever need it, which I think you will. Or join Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind so you never have to visit this live stream ever again. All right, my loves. I'll speak to you soon. Ooh, Justine, that's such a good question. You can come to Magnetize and I will teach you how. Bye, loves.